In the beginning of episode 6, we see Heeju getting ready. Ian is outside waiting for her, and he keeps calling her to come out. Heeju shouts back, telling him to be patient. When Ian calls again, Heeju starts to leave angrily, but court lady Suki and the others calm her down. Joy comes to Ian and asks what he is doing here, as it's time for the dance and Heeju isn't ready yet. Ian calls Heeju again, but this time, Heeju comes out, and seeing her, Ian's eyes widen in shock because she is looking absolutely gorgeous. Meanwhile, the king is also getting ready. A court lady tells him he didn't need to come. Yoon says he has to be there because his uncle insisted. The queen mother summons Prime Minister Jung-ho as her ball partner. Holding each other's hands, they both go downstairs together, and everyone greets them. Ginny comes and thanks the queen mother for inviting her. Later, Irene tells Jung-ho that she wants Ginny to be Ian's wife. Just as Jung-ho is about to say something, it is announced that Ian and Heeju have arrived. They make a royal entrance, both looking very good together. Then the dance begins, started by Ian and Heeju. Watching them, the queen mother tells Jung-ho that Ian wanted to give Heeju a breakup gift, which is why he invited her. Everyone watching them praises them. Ian looks around and tells Heeju that everyone's eyes are on them. They start dancing closer. Heeju says she knows, but this isn't enough. Ian says he knows, which is why he has prepared something more. After the dance ends, Ian drops to one knee, takes out a ring, and proposes to her. This is no ordinary ring, it's Ian's mother's ring. Seeing this, Irene is shocked because she never expected Ian to do something like this. Fireworks explode across the sky as Heeju says yes, and Ian puts the ring on her finger. Ian holds Heeju's hand and leads her to the king to receive his blessings. If the king gives his blessing, it acts as a royal command. If anyone opposes the marriage after the king's permission, it means they are against the king. However, Irene gestures to her son and tells him not to give his blessing, but he doesn't listen to his mother and says, "My blessings are with you. You both stay happy forever." They thank him. The media also covers all the news live. In the next scene, Jung-ho comes outside for some fresh air. Irene follows him and tells him to use his veto power, as only the prime minister can challenge the king's decision. But Jung-ho says he can't do that because the king and the ministry must be united. If their decisions start differing, questions will be raised about the king's capability. So, not stopping the marriage would be better for everyone. The queen mother is furious, but has to accept it. They both return to the party. Ian invites the queen mother to dance. She tells him, "I didn't expect you to deceive me. But what did you think? That I wouldn't do anything?" Ian replies, "Yes, you can't do anything. Or will you go against the king?" Then Ian tells her, "How did a wise person like you think it was right to change my brother's will?" Hearing this, Irene is left shocked because she thought no one knew about that will. But Ian knew all along. Ian tells her to smile because everyone is watching. On the other side, Heeju comes to Jung-ho and asks him to dance, extending her hand. Jung-ho looks at her ring and remembers a past scene from their school days. It was the day of Heeju's exam. Some boys were talking about how she hadn't arrived yet, speculating that she wouldn't top this time, or that someone might have locked her in a room, as she's always the first to school. Jung-ho hears this and runs to find her. He hears Heeju's voice from a closed elevator and gets her out. Heeju holds his hand and runs away with him. Jung-ho asks where he's taking her. Heeju says the exam is about to start. If she says she was caught in an elevator, no one will believe her. But if he says it, everyone will believe him. Jung-ho agrees, then holds her hand and runs off with her. Back in the present, Jung-ho and Heeju start dancing. Heeju tells Jung-ho that he has to give permission for the wedding. If he doesn't support her, she have no one on her side. Then their partners are exchanged. Jung-ho keeps looking at Heeju, which the queen mother notices. In the next scene, Heeju and Ian are together. Heeju is very happy looking at the queen's ring, which she had seen the queen wear since childhood. She asks if she can really take it, as it's his mother's ring. Ian says of course not, it's a national treasure. Return it after the divorce. Heeju tells him to take it back then, but Ian tells her to keep it. His mother didn't like it anyway. Heeju guesses he was his mother's favorite, since she gave him her ring. Ian says his father was very angry about that decision and never wanted to give him anything. Heeju says their fathers were similar. She enjoys the cool breeze, and Ian just stares at her. He then fixes her hair with his hands, making her feel shy. At Ian's office, Choi and Hajong are sitting. Heeju arrives and asks about the public reaction. Hajong says people are going crazy and shows several articles about Ian's proposal to Heeju, making her very happy. She also shows her ring to Hajong, making Ian smile. On the other side, Minjin and Gaeong also see the news of the proposal and are very happy, as they will now count as part of the royal family, and Minjin will be the sole heir of the castle group. But Minjin feels uneasy thinking about the mechanic's death, feeling that something is wrong. Gong agrees that he has a point. Sangbu comes to meet Irene and says how she can allow this. Permission cannot be granted for Ian and Heeju's wedding, but Irene says they can't do anything because Ian knows about the late king's will that they altered. However, she's sure Ian has no proof as the will burned completely in the fire, so he won't go against them. She has decided to accept the marriage, and she knows Heeju will become Ian's greatest weakness, which they will exploit. In the next scene, Minjin and Gaeong are talking to Hangok. They show articles about how Ian proposed to Heeju and how the king blessed them. Minjun then talks to his father about transferring Castle Beauty to his name, but his father asks Gaeong to call her father. They need to send someone to the palace so that Heeju can trust at least one person. Later, Minjun and Gaeong come to Heeju's company, where Gaeong keeps looking at her ring. Minjun talks about Castle Group, suggesting it would be good if someone from the family handled the company after her, since she's now part of the royal family and royals aren't allowed to work outside. Heeju says she decide everything and asks about the information she requested. Minjun then tells her he found the person, but that person is dead. Heeju shouts, asking how he could die, and says she should have killed him herself. In the next scene, Heeju is going to the palace for an interview with Haejong. She reads a question about what Ian's strength and weakness are. Heeju complains, asking what kind of question that is. They should ask where their first kiss happened, or who wins if they fight inside a room. Later, during the interview, she is asked how they first met. She says they studied in the same school long ago. Nothing was between them then, but there was a connection. She is asked what has changed about Grand Prince Ian since school days. Heeju says he has become very overprotective of her. She recalls a scene when Ian said he was doing everything to protect her. Heeju then laughs and keeps showing off her ring, and the interview ends playfully. Next we see Choi comes to Ian and says he should watch Heeju's interview. As he reads it, he smiles looking at her. Later, Heeju and Haejong returns to Ian's private residence. Everyone is happy and welcomes her. Haejong will now live with Heeju. Inside, Iram is with Heeju, setting up her things. Then Haejong arrives and tells Iram she can handle everything, so she can go outside. As she leaves, Heeju recalls a scene when Ian had asked Heeju to return. He reveals that Ilimi is a spy working in Ian's house, which they already knew. Choi tells Ian he had asked him many times to fire her, but Haejong says firing her is useless. Another spy will be sent. Haejong offered to stay with Heeju there, and Ian agreed. In the present, Ian calls Heeju and tells her to come to the palace tomorrow to discuss the wedding. Next, we see Heeju arriving at the palace, with Jung-ho accompanying her. A court lady announces Heeju's arrival, making Ian very happy. But then she announces the Prime Minister's arrival too, ruining his mood. Ian asks if they came together, but they deny it, saying they just met outside. Hearing this, Ian starts smiling. Outside, Choi comes to Haejong, wanting to flirt with her, but stops when court lady Suki appears. Inside, they are planning the wedding. Jung-ho says the wedding will be on the scale of a king's wedding because they need to show the public that the royal family is still strong. This also has huge economic benefits, as a royal wedding generates far more revenue than its cost. Eju asks how much revenue it will generate. As Jung-ho whispers the amount in her ear, Ian gets very jealous. Hearing the amount, Heeju is shocked and drops her teacup. As Ian is about to hand her a tissue, Jung-hwa gives her his handkerchief first. Ian tells Jung-ho to behave politely as Heeju will soon be his wife. But Heeju tells Ian that Jung-gu already knows everything about them, which Ian definitely does not like. Jung-ho says, "Don't worry, I will help you both in every way until you get divorced." Heeju gets excited hearing this, and Ian looks at her in shock. Later, Ian is with Heeju. Heeju explains that she was talking to Haejong when Jung-ho overheard everything. But it's good, because he can help them now since he knows everything. Ian asks, how can you trust someone so easily? Heeju says, I've known him since childhood. We've been friends since then, so I trust him. Ian picks faults in Jung-ho. Heeju replies, I trust him more than you, who backs down out of fear. Ian asks, what did you say? Heeju says, I've been stopping myself from making a legal contract. Hearing this, Ian says, fine, let's make a legal contract. They sit down to list their conditions. Ian says they will divorce after 3 years, after which any real estate or assets gained due to royal status must be returned. Heeju agrees, but says she won't give up her title or rank, and all privileges that come with them will remain with her for life. Ian says she can keep them as long as she doesn't cause a public controversy or break any law. Ian also says all matters of the palace, as well as matters between them, will remain confidential. As they are talking, a court lady announces that the Queen Mother is coming. They quickly hide the contract and stand holding hands. Irene arrives, sees them, and Heeju pulls her hand away. She introduces herself. Irene says, "Since you will soon be family, I suggest that 3 of us have dinner together." Heeju agrees. Elsewhere, Haejong is with Choi at a restaurant. Choi asks if Miss Heeju will be okay, as the Queen Mother is quite intense. Haejong says, "Don't worry, Miss Heeju is more than a match for her." Choi says he thought they might actually fall in love, but Haejong says that can't happen because Miss Heeju likes trophy men, the one who comes when called, leaves when told, and always follows orders. So the chances of her falling in love are 0. Then he asks what her type is, what kind of guy she likes. Haejong is unable to answer and keeps looking at him. Meanwhile, the 3 are having dinner. Irene gives Heeju wine and starts telling many stories about Ian, that how much his father used to scold him, how he wrote so many apology letters they could fill a book. She recalls how much he used to scold Ian for getting in his older brother's way. She says he'd surely scold Ian today for getting in his nephew's way. Ian tells her she should stop, but she starts accusing him of killing her husband to take the throne. She says she knows he had a hand in his death and that he wants to kill his nephew to take the throne. She is deliberately provoking him, but Heeju holds Ian's hand to calm him. The Queen Mother asks Heeju if she knows why he was named Ian, so that he would never get in the king's way. Now Heeju gets angry too. She stands up and tells Irene that the palace gates will close soon, so they are leaving. She takes Ian outside and says she is holding back because they are not married yet. Otherwise, she starts to say something against the Queen Mother, but Ian stops her. Heeju says, "Let our wedding happen. Then I'll take care of anyone who gets in your way." Hearing this, Ian starts laughing and says that's why he doesn't want to sleep here tonight and suggests they go out. In the next scene, they are in a car. Heeju asks if he should be driving at this hour, but Ian says he's already broken the rules by going out at night, and he likes driving. When he drives, he feels like he's flying. Hearing this, Heeju asks if he really wants to fly. In the next scene, she takes him to a place with many yachts. Ian asks what this is, if she rented them, but Heeju says everything is hers. Saying this, she runs inside and Ian also follows her. In the next scene, both are sitting inside. Ian isn't eating, so Heeju force feeds him a strawberry. Ian says royals don't eat outside food. Heeju says, "No royal would marry a simple person, so why are you? No one is watching you here, it's just us. You can do anything you want." Hearing this, Ian starts eating the fruit. Both start smiling and eat happily. Then she takes him up to the yacht's bow. They go to the front. Heeju stands with her arms outstretched, telling Ian to hold her tightly. She spreads her arms, and they both look very happy. Ian says she brought him here to fly, so he should come forward. As they try to change position, they both fall onto a bed below. Heeju tries to get up, but Ian holds her tight, gets on top of her and says, "You said I could do anything." Then he moves closer and starts kissing her. After the kiss, Heeju looks at him, then holds his neck and kisses him back. And with this, the episode ends here. If you liked the video and want to watch the next episode, comment and subscribe for more.